What's going on, beautiful beings and conscious co-creators? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys so much for watching and tuning in. We're in January 2022, you guys. That is wild. I don't even know how long it's going to take me to get used to saying those words, but nonetheless, we are here, and I want to start this year off giving you guys a pick a card. What is my tried and true? What I started doing this channel, what I started doing on this channel, what I will continue doing on this channel. And yeah, it's just been really resonating with me to do another pick a card for you guys. So we are going to go ahead and just start off this year with a pick a card, specifically talking about what 2022 is going to show you about yourself. Now, this is love and life, okay? So this should be kind of touching all aspects. Please keep in mind, general readings won't always include everything about yourself. There will be some things you may resonate with and some things you may not. And I always suggest that if you are looking for something that is a little more specific to you and your circumstances and your reality, to contact a reader that resonates with you, who is doing personal readings, and go ahead and book an appointment with them. But nonetheless, I hope that this reading and any future readings that I do here show at least a mirror of some sorts to you, so that you can kind of look into yourself to see, are some of the things that she's saying, do they resonate? Are they true? Are they, kind of points in which I need to kind of work on my shadow work? Or, is this something to look forward to? Always look for the truth first before you look for the things that don't resonate or the things to be offended about. So I just kind of want to preface this reading by saying that some of these readings that I do are not always going to be what you want to hear, but may necessarily be something that you need to hear, that your higher self has put you in a position to listen to, because it's a word needed. So without further ado, I hope you guys have meditated. If you haven't, feel free to pause this video and take some deep breaths and maybe get into a position where you're not really distracted. I don't want you guys to really be distracted when you are watching my pick a cards, because I don't want you guys to miss anything that I'm saying. So feel free to take a second to compose yourself, get yourself together. And yeah, before we go ahead and get started, if you're not new to pick a cards, you do need to pick your deck. For everyone else, in the description box will be the timestamps. But for those who are new, you have a variety of options to choose from. You can pick based off the tile. So we have group 1, group 2, and group 3. I also have some crystals in front if you would prefer to pick off of crystals. I'm not always going to do this, but in this specific video, I was inclined to put crystals down. So we have pyrite here, we have amethyst here, and we have clear crystal quartz here. So you have tiles, you have crystals, and even if you just want to meditate on the number 1, 2, and 3 and figure out what specific numbers you're drawn to is calling to you, whatever suits your fancy. Again, timestamps are going to be in the description box, and without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump into the video. We're going to start with group 1. I will see groups 2 and 3 at your timestamp. All right, let's go. Okay, group 1. So we are here, and we are going to go ahead and, talk about what the cards are saying, and basically what 2022 is supposed to be showing you about yourself. So we got the 7 of Wands here. We've got 9 of Wands here. We've got the Wheel of Fortune, and then we also have 9 of Pentacles. Let me move these over. I'm also going to read the other ones too, and then I'm just going to give you a whole cohesive read. So then we have this card here, which looks like a woman who is kind of clutching where her heart chakra would be, and she's behind a tree with a lot of branches, very symbolic. It's full of symbolism, but the back of the card says, imagine all unwanted thoughts dissolving into light, creating room for new opportunities and possibilities for your life. I'm gonna go into it. Let me not get ahead of myself. So let's put that there. And then we have separation, time apart from your partner is on the horizon. And then we have codependency, addictions are affecting your romantic life. So we have that over here. We have success. We have empathy. We have the golden children, inner child, tenderness, innocence, rare gift. And I know some of these are probably gonna be off camera, but again, we'll talk about it in a second. We have star ancestors, hidden secret, lost wisdom. Look a little deeper. And we have fall into my arms, surrender, holding the opposites, extremes of life. All right, jam packed 2022. I don't know, again, as I said in the intro, how long it is going to take me to get used to saying that because it just feels so foreign. But right off the top, I want to say not only with this card here, separation, but I'm seeing with 7 of Wands and 9 of Wands. 2022 is going to be a relationship centered year for you guys. Okay, group 1, some of you guys are going to start to look at some of the relationships in your life and find out who's really for you and who is not for you. And you're going to learn how to start building up boundaries with this 9 of Wands energy here. You're going to start learning to build boundaries for yourself and with regards to other people. Because I feel like with the 7 of Wands, there are a lot of people that have been abusing and misusing their boundaries. A lot of people have been taking your kindness for weakness. And a lot of people have been just, I know you guys have seen a lot of this narcissistic energy online and this manipulator type of energy where people are using you to get to a better place for themselves, but it's not a symbiotic transactional relationship. It's completely one-sided. Some of you guys, 2022 is where you're going to be wrapping up a lot of that stuff because you're starting to realize that it's really not serving you. And I find that you're going to get also to a place in 2022 where as you're weeding out who's here and who's not, you're going to start to allow, again, even with this thing here, with this card here saying new possibilities for your life, you're going to allow for more room for people who are really solid. 9 of Pentacles here, really solid, really supportive of you. These are going to be your ride or dies. These are going to be the people that are willing to sow into you, that are going to come with you, come to you with positivity, with light. They're actually going to be able to share space with you and help you and guide you. Some of these people that were previously in your life, and I'm speaking future tense because some of you guys are already in the beginning of the year going to start wrapping some stuff up, but some of those people that were in your life that you're wrapping it up with, you're like, you know what, never mind, keep it moving, I'm good. You're going to realize that these people never really cared to understand who you were, what you wanted, where you wanted to go. They weren't able to sow into you in any kind of way. And it was just, for a lot of you guys, it was incredibly toxic. And I feel like it was blocking your growth for most of you guys. So there's a self-discovery phase coming in 2022 for you guys where you're going to learn how to set up boundaries. You're going to learn how to shield yourself from the negativity. And more importantly, you're going to learn how to detect it. So I want you guys to remain open to that and keep these things that I'm saying in the back of your head as you're maneuvering through January, February, and all the way down to the end of December this year. Keep that in the back of your head that Spirit is going to start showing you signs. Wheel of Fortune is right here. And it's like, some things are going to start coming into alignment, things that are supposed to be happening, things that were already kind of written out for you, predestined. Things are going to start coming into your life, basically. But like I said, some of this stuff, this distraction over here has got to subside. It's got to be moved and swept out of here. I see success, which is really kind of interesting because, again, when we talk about distractions, some of you guys have big dreams, you have big goals, and I feel like there are people in your life, relationships. Now, mind you, these are relationships of all type: mother, father, sister, brother, best friend, boyfriend, husband, wife, whatever. I don't care what the relationship is. I don't care what the excuse is that you have for keeping them in your life. The bottom line is that there are people in your life that are blocking you, and they're blocking you from your success. Pyrite is the stone you chose, and whether you know what pyrite is or not, this card is a symbol of money. It's a symbol of wealth and abundance and material things. And it's shiny. uh, so, so I think that whether you knew what pyrite is or not, you picked that stone, those of you guys who picked because of this stone, because you do have that in your heart. You do know that you are meant for greatness. You do know that you were meant to live life in luxury and lavishness and not have to worry about where your next dollar is coming from and not have to live check to check. You already knew that. You know deep down in your heart that that was the life you were meant to. There are some people who do not feel that way. So I want you to understand the difference between where you are and where other people are. And when you're expressing your goals and your dreams, make sure they are a 9 of Pentacles friendship and not a 7 of Wands, okay? You don't want to be around people who are constantly challenging you in a negative way and downing your dreams and trying to spray water on that desire that you have. You want people who can uplift you, who can give you ideas and thoughts and support, if at the least support, and genuine, authentic support. I'm really getting passionate. I'm starting to stutter. But anyway, I see success for you guys. I see you coming out of 2022 very successful. Empathy. It says here at the bottom, I am open to see. Well, let me pick it up. You probably can't even see it. It says empathy. I am open to seeing both sides of a situation. That's, I feel like, where a lot of people are taking advantage of. For those of you guys who are empaths, not everybody is an empath. I want to preface that. But for those of you guys who are empaths, please understand that is, if you are not careful, that can be a weapon against you. And people who are manipulators know exactly how to weaponize that. So yes, you can be, you have the ability and the skill. In my opinion, I believe it is a skill. It is a strength. But if left unworked with, undealt with, and again, the boundaries, if you don't have boundaries, this really can hurt you and harm you. You have the ability to see both sides, which is why a lot of times you allow the bullshit to continue. You allow the toxicity to continue. You allow the negativity and just like, it's just darkness. For some of you guys, it's just darkness. You allow that to continue because you're trying to allow more room for that person to do right because you see the potential, right? And we have to really be careful about that, because even though as an empath, you can understand why that person is treating you the way they are. You can understand why they communicate the way they do. Even though it's harmful to you, you want to give them some slack because of their own childhood or their own traumas or whatever. I want to tell you in 2022, okay, stop being people's savior. Stop being people's savior, especially those of you guys who are still trying to get your own shit together. Stop going to and being someone's hero or heroine. You are not Hercules. Stop it. Okay, that person needs to go and work on themselves. That person needs to go and seek some sort of therapy of some sort. They need to go read a book. They need to go meditate. They need to deal with their shit. Stop dealing with other people's shit. Okay. 2022, we're not doing that anymore. Spirit has so many bigger and better things for you guys. You guys are being distracted by other people's mess, and it is not your mess to clean up, fix, resolve, none of that. Stop it. Stop it right now. This is your big sister talking to you. Stop doing it. All right. Codependency was another word. So again, now I'm thinking about relationships. Some of you guys, I'm talking about your partner. I'm talking about your husband. I'm talking about your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your significant other, whatever you want to call them. I'm talking about them. There is a codependency, and it is negatively affecting your life because you are not able to grow because they're holding you down. They're weighing you down. They're holding you back. Whatever way you want to interpret that. It says addictions are affecting your romantic life. What is it? What is it that is preventing you from living your best life? I need you guys to understand what that is. I need you guys to understand how to answer that question. That is your homework. You need to know what it is that is preventing you from living your best life. There is something in the way between why you are not currently living in your best life. And we need to figure that out now. All right. Fall into my arms, surrender, holding the opposites, extremes of life. Okay, let me slow down because I just kind of went ham. We're gonna slow it down. Fall into my arms. This card, the bottom part of the words, the bottom part of the card, the words say surrender, holding the opposites, extremes of life. What I'm seeing here is some of you guys 2022 is going to be, things are just going to start to line up. You're at the beginning of things starting to really make sense. So if you've been kind of just like, I'm not understanding why I'm doing this or what this is, or, even in the relationships, as I said, this is a relationship centered year. This is a big year for you when it comes to your interpersonal relationships with other people. Some of you guys are like, I don't know why every time I try to make it work with someone, it's just always like, it's so hard. It's hard to be around them. It's hard to talk to them. It's hard to be with them. We only have this one thing in common. And even that, it's, a distraction, whatever it is. I feel like some of you guys, I want you guys to kind of pay attention to the relationship, pay attention to the person's behaviors, and pay attention mostly to your thoughts when it comes to that person, and observe yourself thinking about that person. Okay. And the reason why I say that is, some of you are going to be coming to your own realizations, and it's really just because, Spirit is kind of already aligning. It's already putting things in place. The things that you have been desiring, the things that you've been asking for, the things that you've been kind of working towards or trying to manifest into your life. You're trying to get those things without giving up anything else. And we all know what sacrifice is, right? We all know how important sacrifice is, right? So what are you willing to give up in order to obtain better and bigger? You have to. Spirit acknowledges sacrifice. That's in every single religion. That's in every single theology. Sacrifice. Because you have to accept that, you can't get something for nothing. That's life. And some of you guys, life is about to happen to you. Fall into my arms, surrender. You need to give up something. What are you going to give up? Star ancestors, hidden secrets, lost wisdom, look a little deeper. I resonate so much with this card. And I'll tell you why specifically. I recently just lost my grandmother. She passed away at the end of November. And I realized that as I'm losing my elders, the stories that they would have been able to pass down are now with them. So, sorry, I heard my name in the background. So if it's called on you to start, looking up your ancestry, your genealogy, to figure out who you were, who your ancestors were, please do that. Please do that. I think there's so much for you in that. And the last card here, the golden children, inner child, tenderness, innocence, rare, be a child again. Stop taking things so seriously. And I want to point out, this card goes hand in hand with empathy, where it's talking about stop taking on so much. Even with the 9 of Wands, stop taking on so much. Okay, not everybody's stuff, everybody's troubles are not your troubles. They're not meant for you to take on. And you guys have been doing that. And so this is kind of like talking about that inner child. And some of you guys have been ignoring that inner child, and maybe stop doing that in 2022. Maybe kind of indulge that inner child. Maybe go do something that your inner child wants to do. Whatever that is, it doesn't matter how silly it is. If you want to go get some ice cream in the middle of winter, go do it. If you want to go stick your feet at the beach, go do it at the beach, in the water. If you want to go let your hair down and go run around in the park and scream and frolic, go and do that. Don't worry about what people are going to say, what people are going to think. Live your life authentically. Okay. So that is your reading, group 1. I know it was probably a lot. I kind of just like boom, boom, boom. But again, it's passion. And I really want to get this stuff out to you guys so you guys can take these pieces of information and, apply them. So thank you guys for watching. If it resonated, Ashe, I'm so grateful for that. And I'm going to go ahead and go to your sister group 2. But I will see you guys, group 1, in my next video. Bye. What's going on at group 2? I am here, as I said before, I'm here to talk about what 2022 is going to reveal about yourself. And again, we're talking about love and life. And I'm going to basically just pull out all the cards first and then talk about them from there. So from the Afro Avatar deck, we have the 6 of Pentacles. We have the Temperance card. We have the Three of Swords, and we have the Tower card here. Very interesting. Then we have this image, which I don't want to get too close on camera because I don't know, YouTube be tripping. But the back of the card says Sacred Union. Honor and treasure your relationship, for it is truly sacred. All right. And then also we have the bootleg Doreen Virtue deck, which is what I have been calling these cards. And so it has release your ex. The time has come to clear your energy. Attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. Interesting. Then we have blame. And I'll pick these cards up as I talk about them, but for now we're just going to lay them out so I can see them. And then we have friendship here. And blame says, I accept my responsibility for my well-being. And friendship says, I understand that a friend is in my life for a reason. And then we have I'm sorry. That's what this card looks like. We have lost lands. That's what this card looks like. And the last card we have is double mission. And look how beautiful she is. Oh my God. Oh my God. She's so beautiful. Anyway, let me stop hyping this queen up. Anyway, group 2, 2022 is something. Okay, so let's just talk about it. Right off the top, I'm seeing you guys going through so much, but in the name of growth. It's the epitome of going through the fire and just being able to say, like, I did that. Like, you know, if you've ever seen, like, on YouTube or on Instagram, like those people that walk on those hot coals and it's like fire and it's really, really hot and they walk barefoot across it. And it's supposed to be like this mind over matter? I don't know how the saying goes, but basically this, like, it's all mental. It's all in your head, but it's like you would be shocked at what you can actually go through and withstand and walk out and say you survived, you made it. 2022 for some of you guys, again, this may not resonate for everybody, but this may be kind of one of those years where you ended thinking like, wow, okay, we did it. Like, we made it through. Like, it was a little tough one. It's a little tough. There's the Tower card right next to the Three of Swords, right next to Temperance, right? I think that the more in tune you are with yourself and the more you remember, everything is always about how you respond and perceive and not so much what actually happened. I think the test is going to come in the name of those two cards right here. We have the Three of Swords and the Tower card once more. So it's like something massive is going to be occurring here. Something that you honestly are not going to be able to avoid. Now, for some reason, it makes me think, for some reason is making me feel and think that this is in the name of a test in your relationship. So if you are in a new relationship, or if you're in a relationship that has been, maybe it's an older relationship, but it's been kind of like, you know, y'all are just kind of going through the motions at this point. I feel like there's something that's going to happen, and it's going to definitely cause you to feel a type of way. This is typically the energy of grievance, heartbreak, betrayal, negativity, typically, is what that Three of Swords is. Basically like somebody just really did you dirty, did you wrong. I feel like this could be the partner doing this to you guys, group 2. And I feel like there's a lesson in that. And so it's not so much that whatever this energy is, whatever this person is doing or is going to do, it's not so that you can react and lose all of your bearings and just act out of character and, you know, we in Love and Hip Hop season 2 now. Like, no, we're not doing any of that. I think the test is coming to show you, can you handle the dark along with the light? Because some of us, here's a word, some of us have got this whole spiritual journey fucked up. And we think that, well, it's all love, light, and unicorns and rainbows and fairies, and that's it. And it's like, no. Sometimes with light is darkness, and sometimes with light work, there's shadow work. And so every single thing that happens to us, there is a lesson in that. There's something to learn. There's something to grow. There's something to experience. And so I want you guys to understand that because rude awakening for some of you guys is in these cards. And again, I told you guys, I tried to warn you guys at the beginning of the video. I am not the reader that's going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what I see and what I feel and what spirit is guiding me to say. That's it. That's the only thing I can promise you. So with that being said, I want you to watch out for this card in specific. Blame. I accept responsibility for my well-being, accepting responsibility for the place that you are in. Whatever happens here, whatever this person does to you, instead of pointing those fingers at that person and being like, well, you did this and I'm going to find all the reasons why this is your fault. At some point, you need to start taking some accountability and deciding, you know what? I chose to be in this position. What is there for me to learn here? That is a sign of maturity. And Temperance card is coming in again for you guys. I want to reiterate, maturity is the season that is among you right now in 2022. This is a really big time and a crucial time for you to really show that you are mature. I like to think of seasons of just roughness, seasons of like, oh my God, we are going through hell. This is rough. This is like when we're talking about that metaphor of like people walking through the coal, like this coal is getting hot. I can feel it. And it's like, will I make it through? I like to always think about it as like sometimes when we're asking spirit for something, sometimes when we're trying to manifest something, you know, you will go through some shit before you get your blessing. Sometimes it's just the way that happens for us. And I feel like some of you guys, before your blessing comes, you're going to have to go through some stuff. You're going to have to show up and show out. You're going to have to prove that you're able to handle what is meant for you, because a lot of times, what do we do when we're not ready for something and it's given to us? We mess it up and then we look back on it and be like, dang, you know, if I would have known then what I know now, I would have done X, Y, and Z. And I feel like some of you guys, Spirit's like, all right, I already know you about to be on some stuff. So we about to run you through this test right real quick. And yeah, we're just going to see how you handle this, how you react. So just keep this in mind. This is a test. This is 110,000% a test. This is a test, and there's a lesson to learn, and there's a lot to learn about yourself. And can you handle being mature? All of these things that you have been uncovering about yourself, all of this work that you've been doing, are you really about that life? Can you really withstand the fire? You know what I mean? It's kind of like the authenticity test is coming out for you guys. So blame is one of the things that you want to watch out for. Is, are you placing blame on everyone but yourself? And how can you hold yourself accountable? How can you find the areas in which you can say, you know what, I could have did better. I could have chose better. I could have vibrated higher. That is a true sign of maturity. And then we have friendship here. I understand that a friend is in my life for a reason. Make sure you have wise counsel around you. And for those of you guys who do have wise counsel, don't be afraid to go to them. They're in your life for a reason. Like I said, it's in my life for a reason. Some of you guys have real relationships, solid people in your life that you're not even going to because you're trying to do all of this yourself. You think that you're this big bad person and I can do it myself. And it's like, no. You know, our existence on this earth, part of it is in part because we came here to experience relationships. And some of you guys have solid friends that are waiting for you to kind of come to them and show that vulnerable side. So, you know, when I read that card and you think about, like, I want you to think about somebody and like that person who this resonates with. It's like, okay, this person is in my life. This person is wise. This person has went through some stuff and has always come off like a big sister or a big brother or a mom figure or whatever. Like, that is the person that I'm kind of talking about. Someone who's really solid and can really guide you and help you, because you're going to need counsel. I'm going to say that right now. Whatever this is, you're going to need somebody that can remind you who you are in the midst of, you know, the smoke. And, you know, it's kind of hard sometimes to see yourself when it's just like things crumbling around you. The tower energy is hard. So sometimes you need that person that can say, you know who you are, and can remind you. You know what I mean? Sacred union, honor and treasure your relationship, for it is truly sacred. Like I said, some of you guys, and this may not be for everybody, but I feel like for a few of you guys, maybe, your partner's there's a test of your relationship coming. It just is. It is what it is. It's a test coming. And if that is truly your partner, if that is like, how do I want to say this? First of all, we want to make sure that we are checking our ego when we're trying to reestablish trust, when we're trying to reestablish the union. It is sometimes very difficult, I know, to go from someone doing something to you that breaks your heart, and then you trying to go back to a place where, everything is good again. And part of the issue, in my opinion, with that is that we spend so much time trying to go back to a place. And it's like, why would you want to go back to a place that was broken to begin with? Because going back means that we're probably going to repeat the same cycle over and over again. That's a word. So instead of focusing on how you can get back to the place where you were essentially blissfully unaware of what was really going on, we want to start to establish a new relationship. This is opportunity for a new relationship, a relationship that is different from the one you were previously in with this person. It could be the same person, different relationship. That's what I'm saying. And also, I want to point out another message for you guys with this here is to focus on having an actual friendship with your person, with your partner. This is in the realm of love life here. Make sure that you actually have a friendship. Make sure you are a friend. Know how to be a friend to your partner, not just a girlfriend, not just a wife. Know how to be a friend to them so they can come to you and say, hey, I need to talk to you as a friend. And you know exactly what they need. You know what I mean? That means that you can't judge them as a girlfriend. That means you're coming to them as a friend and you want their best interest as a friend, not because of your own selfish motives, because you trying to get married, so you can't say this. No, be his friend. Be his friend. Be her friend. We're not messing around with the exes. Shout out to the exes, but we're not messing with the exes. So, I'm seeing this, and it's coming in the sense of like retaliation, like, oh, okay, so he wanted to do this, that, and the other. Okay, let me call up. No, we're not doing any of that. Again, the name of the game is, how mature are you? Can you really go through some stuff? And again, I want to preface this because I'm not even going to speak that. Let me not say that. I want to preface this by saying, just in case, we have some people that come into group 2 who are not familiar with me or, my readings, and they try to, I'm not trying to say that you should stay in a relationship that is abusive or anything like that. Please use your own judgment. Don't be idiots. Okay. Like, your life is your life. What I am talking about is the relationships where you went through some stuff, but both people are committed to changing. Okay, that is so incredibly important, and I'll probably talk about this in at length at another time, because I don't want to completely fill up this reading with my rant on relationships. But I just want to say it's a very big difference between removing yourself from a situation that is unsafe or harmful to your physical or mental well-being, or even your spiritual well-being. And there's another for someone to do something that's just kind of like, what the hell? See, look what you did. Now we like spilled milk type stuff. This is spilled milk. This is not bombing the house. This is not the same thing. So just point that out, please be mature with these readings. But attraction here, you attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. I think it's just calling to say, just remember, don't go and sabotage. That's what I'm saying here with release your ex. Don't sabotage this union because you're angry about what happened. This 3 of Swords, this Tower card, whatever has happened. And it also, rewind, if this is you who is doing this 3 of Swords Tower card, again, there's always an opportunity for introspection. There's always an opportunity for you to sit down and ask yourself, why am I doing these things? What am I feeling when I get the urge to do these things? How can I make this a productive moment instead of just engaging or encouraging these feelings that I know are not serving me, that I know deep down they're really not going to bring me to the place that I am. Sometimes we're now challenging addictions. We're challenging self-esteem and insecurity. Sometimes we're challenging traumas that we've experienced in our adult life and in our childhood. So that's why I'm saying, like, this maturity thing and maturity being the name of the game. A large part of that is making sure, like, when you say, like, no, I've done my shadow work, this is coming in. It's like, did you really though, boo? Did you really? Let's see. Let me see if you really did your shadow work. Let me see. You know what I mean? Now we have the I'm sorry card. Ooh, what a humbling card right here. What a humbling card. If you can tell, both people are on their knees. They're in a very vulnerable state. The roots underneath this, like the roots from underneath their knees, the soil is kind of forming two faces where they're able to really see each other. This is a rid yourself of ego card. This is a humble yourself card. Okay. I really want to say this because I knew someone, and I don't remember exactly verbatim what this person said, but it was something to the extent of, I want a relationship, but I'm scared to be vulnerable with that person. And in my opinion, I don't feel like you can do both productively. And I'll explain a little bit. Basically, how can you fall in love with somebody? Let's just use that idea of falling in love. How can you fall in love if you don't ever jump out? If you don't ever put yourself out there, how can you fall? It's like, how can you ever effectively skydive if you never jump out the plane? You can't do it. It's impossible. You never skydived. You just went in the plane. You have to jump. You have to put yourself out there. You have to humble yourself. You have to be vulnerable with yourself and with that person. Otherwise, you're missing what it could potentially be a real, true connection. And yes, you are risking the possibility of crashing and burning. Yes. But we came here for the experience. Don't be afraid to live your life because you're afraid of the other side of the experience. It's okay to have your heart broken. It's okay. We will move on. We will live on. We will grow and be better and bigger. There's always that possibility. It doesn't have to be your end all be all. Even though a lot of people like to make you feel that way, it really doesn't have to be. There's nothing more beautiful than finding a person that you can truly humble yourself with and be vulnerable with and show your true authentic side, and they embrace you and love on you. The only way to find that person, though, is to try it. Now be discerning. Okay, don't just be out here just in the clubs just going up to anybody and everybody, child. Like, don't do that. But again, come on, be smart. Lost land, soul memories, and gifts. You've done this before. Some of you guys, like, this is not your first time on this planet and in life form. Like, you're not an old soul. I don't think you're an old soul, but you're not super young. Okay, there's some wisdom to you, yes, and I think that a lot of this card, what this card is saying is just kind of like, lean into what you learned in your previous lifetime and lean into your gift. Some of you have a gift that's very, very self-serving in a good way, meaning like your gift allows you to, it's not self-serving. Let me say self-soothing. That's really what I meant. Self-serving. It's self-soothing. So like there's something that you can do and you can do really well that allows you, whenever you're feeling tense, you go and do, whether it's dancing, whether it's writing, whether it's, it could just be the most random things, drawing, singing, whatever it is. There's something that you know how to do well that you've always been able to do since you were a little child, and it helps you zone out. And honestly, you've never probably even looked at it this way, but it is a form of meditation because you're allowing yourself to detach and remove yourself. So I would say to draw on that in these times. Whenever this whatever this is over here happens, remember to kind of draw on into your gifts. And then the last card, group 2, says double mission with this beautiful goddess right here with this gold and this melanin. I stand. Anyway, double mission, light worker star seed, serve the world by being you. Light worker. We brought that up earlier when I was kind of reading all this stuff, and I was like, y'all want to be light workers, but y'all forgot the shadow work part, right? But the thing is, even with light work, I think that we have to make sure that we're also kind of always asking ourselves questions. We're always observing. I used to say this stuff all the time, like a couple years ago when I was, just starting to learn who I was. Like, I used to say, like, you become the master at observing the observer. So like we're always observing just naturally, right? But then there is that other part of us that's inside that's like the rock star part. And I know you guys have heard me talk about the rock star part before, but like being able to remember what this all is and then observe from that standpoint is so freaking powerful. You'll begin to really realize how little a lot of this shit even matters. And I think that with this card over here, it's like, remember why you came here, light workers. Okay, remember why you came here. And so if you allow yourself to be bogged down with things that get to you, with things that bother you, with traumas that you haven't dealt with, then how are you able to really show up and show out the way you need to? So sometimes this card is coming in the name of saying release and let go. Because how can you, some of you, I mean, it says here, serve the world by being you. How can you come and serve when you are, too bogged down with things that you were meant to release yourself from and heal from? You can't do both. One is going to have to suffer. So, this is kind of like the year of, going through some things to challenge that maturity and shedding off the shit that's just not working for you. Okay. Six of Pentacles. I don't even know if I talked about that, but I also see this in likeness of this. These two cards kind of favor each other because it's like you have so much to give. You have so much to give, but you're not ready quite yet, and I don't want you to overstep where it is that you're supposed to be at. So even though you have so much to give and there's so many things that you probably want to do, you're probably like, oh, I'm going to do this to help these people. I'm going to do that to help these people. You have all these big dreams, but it's like there's still some things that you really need to work on within yourself first before you make yourself of service to other people. So it's kind of like fix home first before you go out and help the community. Period. That's what I saw. So yeah, group 2, if this reading resonated, if I gave you some truth bombs and they hit home, ashe, I'm so grateful for that. I really appreciate you guys watching. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go to your sister group 3, but I will see you guys, group 2, in my next video. Okay. Bye guys. What's going on, group 3? Welcome to your reading. I'm so excited. Once again, we are talking about what 2022 is going to show you about yourself, and we're talking about love and life. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just lay out all the cards so we can just, chit chat. So we have the Star, we have the 8 of Swords, we have the 3 of Pentacles, and we have the Ace of Pentacles that actually came in reverse. So there's the tarot, and then we have a depiction of a woman with angel wings, and then another smaller head in front, and then 2 hearts. So I'll kind of give you a close-up of that. Turn it around, it says my beloved, or beloved, however you say that word. It says, though we may be physically apart, spiritually we are always united. For love transcends space and time. Nothing is missing. Okay, love that. Then we have past life relationship. You have known each other before. Unrequited love. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. Okay. And we have grief. And I'm going to just lay the rest of these down. I know you won't be able to see them fully, but I'll pick them up as I'm talking about them. We have grief. I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. We have envy. I am the same as everybody, but with different challenges. And then we have the great severing, Mars energy. Okay, anger, conflict, softening to love. I'm sorry, let me show you that card. And then we have the courageous peony, multifaceted, unique nature. Let yourself be seen. And then the last card we have is wait. It's not time yet. Things are being woven. And that's what it looks like. Woo! You guys have some cards. Interesting, very interesting cards. Okay, so let's go ahead and stalk. I'm over here saying stalk. Let's go ahead and talk about it. First things first. Okay. So I'm getting this impression that some of you guys have lost someone. And there's a lot to unpack with you regarding this. I want to say some of you guys have probably not allowed yourself to actually grieve. And that's why this card is coming in. It's like the way of saying, you know, how do I say that? It's the way of saying, you know, there's also part of the grieving process, a moment in which you can just like begin to express gratitude and appreciation for who that person was and how they showed up in your life. So if this is someone who, you know, you lost, you know, a family member or loved one of any sorts, I want to say the message here for you guys specifically is that allow yourself to really go through that process. Allow yourself to grieve, okay? Don't worry about how it looks. Don't worry about what other people are going to say. Don't worry about, just focus on yourself. This is the time in which you should be the most selfish, because, you know, sometimes our reality needs to catch up to what's happened. And sometimes when we lose people, especially when we lose people suddenly, our reality does this weird thing where we just like, we're like, no, that didn't happen. And I experienced that, I know, with losing my family member recently, you know, so this really hits home for me too. So for those of you guys who have lost someone recently, you know, I can kind of understand where you're coming from, because, you know, it's like sometimes the body just goes into shock. And so it's so necessary that you allow yourself to feel whatever emotion that is. Okay, so I want to just kind of give a moment for that to be said to the people who needed to hear it, that it's okay to grieve, and your grieving doesn't have to look a certain kind of way. However it comes out is how it comes out. If you have to cry, if you have to yell, if you just want to sit in silence, if you want to sleep, you know, whatever it is that you feel you need to do that. Okay, but always try to keep the understanding that this is the phase I'm in, and this phase had a starting point and an ending point, and I will come out of this and I will be able to, you know, get up and keep walking. Okay. I don't think you ever really get over losing someone close to you, but I believe it can get easier. I will say that. And that's me coming from a place of having lost someone a few years ago that was very important to me, very, very important to me. So I'm, like I said, you don't get over it when you lose someone super close to you, but as the days go on, it's possible for it to get easier. It's just how I'll say it like that. But that's just my experience, of course. So talking about the tarot now. So we have the Star, we have Eight of Swords, we have Three of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles. I'm really thinking that this is kind of saying Spirit is calling you guys to slow down, take it easy this year. That's what I'm seeing. Definitely want to take it easy. Definitely want to take care of yourself this year is what I'm seeing as well. Okay. There's a lot going on with you. There's a lot going on. So I think that, you know, kind of taking what we don't want to do, I'm seeing right now unequivocally, is I don't want you guys to bury yourself in work. Somebody needs to hear that. Don't bury yourself in work. Stop trying to preoccupy yourself, because you're just, you're suppressing what's going to end up spilling out anyway. You know, it's kind of like, you know, when you have a closet full of crap and it's like it's like spilling out, but you're like, no, it's okay. And you shut the door and you think that as long as you don't see it, as long as it's behind the doors, it's fine. But at any given moment, all that stuff in that closet could give way and the door could just fall off. And then now you have all this stuff that's been accumulating, just spilling out. And it's like, how do we go through this now? I don't want that to happen to you guys. So the way we avoid that happening is by giving yourself permission. I know that's a concept that I'm realizing when I talk about that to people, like in my actual life. Like I get this kind of weird look when I say, like, you have to learn to give yourself permission. So I want to tell you guys that is what I want you to kind of focus on and pay attention to during this year, is practice giving yourself permission, because some of you guys, I feel, are hard on yourself. Okay. Some of you guys, you could be carrying this earth sign energy. You got your Tauruses, your Virgos, your Capricorns. Some of you guys are hard on yourselves, and you need to give yourself permission to feel what it is that you need to feel. Okay. So whatever that is, allow yourself the permission to feel that way. Don't stay there. We don't want to live there, because then we start talking about becoming in a place, finding yourself in a depressive state. So I don't want you to stay there, but you have to at least acknowledge what it is you're feeling, because when you don't acknowledge it, it festers. Okay? It festers. So when it comes to love, though, it says here, past life relationship. But then it also says unrequited love. So to me, I'm seeing there's a small possibility that some of you guys are going to be introduced to your soulmate, or introduced to a person that is going to feel like you've known them before. And I want you guys to, one, practice discernment. We use that word often here because it's so freaking important. But I want you guys to practice discernment as far as when you meet this person, gauging whether or not, even though, you feel, okay, how do I say this? Sometimes when we meet someone and we're just like, oh my God, like you're just so easy to be around. And so you think like, oh, that means we're supposed to be together. And it may not really be that. It may just be this person is brought into your life because they're supposed to help you through a trying time, or they're just supposed to be able to be that shoulder that you can cry on, or maybe they're supposed to help you in a specific endeavor and then they leave. Or maybe they're just supposed to be a friend that stays with you for the rest of this season. I don't know. But the point is that you have to know before you jump into a romantic capacity, because some of you guys, this is a past life relationship. This is someone that you have dated in a previous life. And then y'all come together here and they're familiar because you do in some way, shape, or form know them. And so you think because of that familiarity, we're supposed to be together, and that's really not the case. So I really want you guys to make sure you're maintaining your control, the control of emotions when it comes to your love life, especially if you guys are resonating with what I'm saying here. As far as the grieving process, we also don't want grieving processes to spill into promiscuous behavior, especially if that's not like you, spilling into promiscuous behavior, or even just like jumping into relationships that are not. Okay, you guys, I'm really talking to myself now, like not in a bad way, but like that's literally what I did when I lost that very, very important person. I'm just now realizing that what I'm saying are things that I did, and I feel like that's probably why I keep re-emphasizing, because I'm trying to get you guys to not make the mistakes that I made, which is, I was not discerning when I had lost that person that was very close to me. And so because I was not discerning, when the person that I was in a relationship with at the time came to me, I overlooked all of the red flags. I saw no red flags, even though they were waving ferociously in front of me. I saw no red flags. And at the time, that person was just someone that was there. And I needed a filler. In my head, I thought I needed a filler because I had just lost someone very important to me. And I was vulnerable. I was weak. And, I just wasn't paying attention. So I want you guys to avoid that. So if you find yourself in a situation that I was in or similar, where you've lost someone and there's someone that comes up and he looks like your knight in shining armor, keep all of your eyes open, okay? And while you're grieving, maybe just go slow. Maybe just the friendly shit. Just do the friendly stuff right now, okay? And then when you are in a better place, when you have a more clear mind, then you can make the decision on whether or not to pursue this person in a romantic capacity or share your body with this person, because I really want to talk in a separate video about that whole concept of sharing our body, and we'll talk about that later. So anyway, now we have the great severing. Again, I feel like this is, again, we're talking more about the grief process. And I want to say, even though I'm really highlighting losing a person, this could be a loss in general. This could be a breakup. This could be losing a friend. This could be losing a job. Even with Ace of Pentacles, this could be a loss of a job. Something that you kind of had you were attached to, basically. Whatever you were attached to, that is no longer something that you can attach yourself to. We oftentimes have a myriad of emotions that are all similar, whether it's losing a person, losing a job, a friend, a breakup. We all have those stages of grief, and one of them is anger. And so again, your theme this year, 2022, is to take it easy and give yourself permission. Learn to start giving yourself permission, group 3. Great severing, Mars energy, anger, right? So I want you guys to be able to say, you know what? I'm feeling angry right now, and that's okay. Let me go through this anger. Let me give myself permission to feel this way, because it's here for a reason. Let me talk this through. Why am I angry? Why am I angry? What is it directed at? How did I get here? What was I thinking about before I got to this place of anger? What would I like to do because of this? Like, talk it out with yourself. The courageous peony, multifaceted, unique nature, and let yourself be seen. Some of you guys are going to be expressing yourselves like physically. So if you, I want to say specifically for you creators out there, which we all are in our own right, but the ones that express themselves physically, I want you to feel uninhibited, okay? I want you guys to be able to just flow. That's really where I get here. Just flow. Wait is last. It's not yet time. Things are being woven. Yeah. This card, and then this card right here, Ace of Pentacles. I'm always like looking at cards that like, kind of complement one another. And I'm just seeing, and then even with the Eight of Swords, even though it's like kind of like they're really just kind of going through it, they don't really understand what's happening. It's just like there's so many things in the workings, but for some reason, you guys are like the exact opposite, I think, of like group 1. I think it was group 1, but in the sense of like this is your year to just kind of chill out, take it easy, relax. This is going to be a slow moving year for you guys, for you guys, group 3. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of healing in store for you. And I didn't even really talk about the other stone, the amethyst stone, but for some reason I want to point out to you guys the clear crystal quartz. The clear quartz, I think I'm saying that wrong, but I'm just like talking now. But the clear quartz, right? It's a healing stone. I use that all the time in healing and cleansings. It's a really good stone to kind of remove energy. I always carry clear quartz with me because I'm an empath and I just don't want it's a nice thing to hold on to. Sometimes I put it in my bra. But I feel like for those of you guys who pick based off the stone, even maybe at a subconscious level, that this is the time for you guys to just kind of focus on yourself and not worry about what anyone else is going through. Okay, this is a you year, and I want you guys to focus on just, allowing yourself to feel what it is. Some of you guys have been suppressing a lot of shit for years. Like, for some reason, I'm getting in my head, even with this Three of Pentacles, looking over here, like if you guys remember the show Avatar, and I forgot the girl name, but she was the leader of the two, of the group. She was the leader. And I just feel like, is it Kyoshi Warriors? I forgot her name though, but she was a leader. She was the backbone. They did what she said. And some of you guys have spent a lot of time being the leader. So you feel like, well, everybody's looking at me. I'm setting the example. I need to be strong. You guys have got to give yourself a break, because being vulnerable is not weak. Being upset, being sad, you've got to stop putting these words that you were taught to associate with emotions. You gotta start learning how to unlearn that bullshit. Okay, if you are having a moment where an emotion is coming through, stop associating it with something that is negative. You're sad. It's okay to be sad. You want to cry. That's okay too. Find someone that you can cry with if you need to. Find someone that can share space with you. If you don't have that, you are more than capable of doing it by yourself. You are stronger than you give yourself credit for when it comes to your emotions. Yes, you are a strong person, and yes, you have people that look up to you, but you're also a person that experiences things just like everyone else does. And you need to start giving yourself permission. So that is really it, group 3. I hope this reading resonated. If it did at any point, ashe, ashe, I am very grateful for you guys. Thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and end this video right here. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Okay?